Oh man. Well, I mean, what gives me joy are my kids. I had a son that was stillborn in 2008 and just had my heart crushed. I got it. All right, so we're going to start here. What brings me joy, and this is true. This is not just what I say because I'm a pastor. It's not just what I say because I'm supposed to. What brings me joy is Christ and His kingdom. It's even when things don't happen the way that I want them to happen, I trust in His goodness to do what He says He'll do and to be who He says He'll be. And the best example I have with that is in 2008, had the heart-wrenching experience of having my little son, my firstborn, name's Lucas. He was stillborn. And it was during that time that we had plans and we had all kinds of things that we were expecting for life and to raise him. And it was like just in a moment, that was gone. I remember there being months where, we went through stuff like you go and you bury a child, which you don't expect to do. You sit at home and you look at clothes, or you imagine the clothes that might be there, what it would be like if you were able to put them on your child. And it was just heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking for me. It was heartbreaking for Catherine. But I remember one of the coolest moments where I learned about joy was actually on Father's Day after my son had died. I just had a really difficult day because it's a time when, for me, I was a new dad, but didn't have my child with me. And so it was just this pressure and this feeling that I wanted to be acknowledged as a father, but knew I probably wouldn't be. And on that day, I had a breakdown with the Lord. I said things in prayer that I couldn't believe that I was saying. I actually repented while I was praying, turned back to the Lord and shut my mouth at times and wept at times. And it was during that I got up on that Father's Day. I went to church. I did the things and was greatly encouraged. But that night, I went to meet Catherine at her grandmother's. And, I went to the door, knocked on it, and she answered. And she came out and she said, "I got to tell you something." I said, "Oh, you got to tell me." And that girl pulled out a pregnancy test. And it was, I had just been praying about why we didn't have a child, why we had the desires to raise a child, but weren't able to. And the whole time she was pregnant with Lucy. Lucy was in the womb, and since then I had Lucy and Annie and Hazel and Lewis, who bring me so much joy. But here's what I want to say, and then I'm walking off, is that what I learned is this: it was about God's goodness and the joy that comes from Him. God He's not good because we had a child that we lost and now we have 4. He's good because His Son went to the cross, died in our place, and rose from the grave. But in my 4 children, I taste His goodness. And I have so much joy that the Lord gives me through getting to be a daddy and a husband to my sweet wife.